A woman's right to participate in combat is a very controversial issue due to three main factors: physical strength, military readiness, morale, and cohesion. I do not believe women belong in combat due to these three factors. Men are physically stronger than women. On average, men are significantly stronger than women. That being said, in a combat situation where the mission relies on a female versus a male counterpart could be detrimental to combat effectiveness. According to a BBC Future article titled "What If Women Were Physically Stronger Than Men?", for one, men remain on average larger and stronger than women, possessing 26 pounds of skeletal muscle, 40% more upper body strength, and 33% more lower body strength. Let us create a hypothetical scenario. Imagine a 245-pound, 6'2" male becomes wounded in combat with an extra 140 pounds of gear. This gear includes a full rucksack, a week's worth of rations, additional uniforms, boots, an M4, a helmet, grenades, ammunition, magazines, body armor, and water. If the closest person to the male soldier is a female averaging 163 pounds, as they are in the United States military, and she also has her 140 pounds of gear, what is the likelihood that she could drag or lift a 385-pound wounded soldier? This scenario would be challenging for any male, let alone a female who may already be struggling with her own load. The most likely outcome in this scenario is that the wounded soldier would not be relocated to safety for treatment, resulting in a fatality. This scenario is an authentic and scary situation that thoroughly displays the dangers and drawbacks of women in combat. I do not doubt that some women are the exception and are up to the task. However, on average, I feel that the American government is putting the lives of American foot soldiers at risk for the sake of equality. Another reason to consider why women should not be in combat is military readiness. Women serving in combat roles will negatively affect military readiness in multiple ways. The first way that women will impact military readiness is by requiring extra living spaces for every phase of training and while on deployment. If healthy men and women are not separated, there is no guarantee that military members will always stay professional. During training phases, there is a possibility that women will become pregnant if they are not separated from males, so that's why they're separated. A situation like this creates another huge issue regarding military readiness because a pregnant woman clearly cannot fight or train properly. In addition, during deployments, men and women kept in close quarters together for up to 2 years at a time may begin to develop intimate relationships, which will make those around them very uncomfortable. Close relationships may begin to form, and it may cause an issue for chain of command. Officers and non-commissioned officers alike may start creating decisions and game plans that are not based on their military bearing. Instead, they will make their decisions based on favoritism and intimate relationships. Since women have participated in combat roles, there has been a significant increase in sexual harassment and assault. Sexual harassment and assault have been such a pressing issue that the United States Army created a SHARP program. SHRP stands for Sexual Harassment, Assault, Response, and Prevention. According to the Army MWR article titled SHARP, the Army has been so politically correct that if you make the wrong kind of joke to a friend or someone else hears it and takes offense, you can be dishonorably discharged because someone didn't like something you said. Also, if someone does not like a fellow soldier, they can falsely report information about them, and from that point on, in the eyes of the men and women around you, they are guilty until proven innocent. Separating soldiers, male and female, would make it harder for false accusations to happen. If a soldier is in training, this can hold them back for months until the investigation concludes. In a training phase, it could take up to years if it's a big enough claim, and it could take years, months, weeks away from the soldier's life. while he tries to just get through his training. The next topic to discuss is morale and cohesion. Unit morale and cohesion are essential to the success of a unit. For a unit's morale to stay elevated, everyone that is a piece of the puzzle must buy into your unit's mission. Women tend to think very differently than men. In some cases, they may bring a needed perspective, but more often than not, thinking differently in high-speed environment and failing to fall in line can get people killed. If everyone is not on the same page, it may cost someone their life. For example, suppose someone is not being covered while advancing into a building. In that case, the enemy will have a prime opportunity to attack, or even worse, soldiers may become victims of friendly fire due to lack of communication. A unit's morale may be affected by male soldiers not believing that they can trust their female counterparts to do the same job to the same extent as the males. This information is according to Stanford's Medicine, How Men and Women's Brains Are Different. Based on the evidence provided, women do not belong in combat. Now that we have gone over physical strength, military readiness, morale, and cohesion, I hope you've learned more about the military and how women in combat affect the military as a whole. Women definitely have their place in the U.S. military, whether it be logistics or it be something that's a support role. But I think in an infantry or a military police setting, women should either be completely excluded into their own units or they shouldn't partake in them at all. It is less of a risk for the male soldiers that they're fighting alongside. But that being said, women 100% have a place in the U.S. military. I hope you understand why I believe women do not belong in combat roles. I hope you will consider these essential factors to make the best informed decision that is most effective for our American soldiers. God bless the USA, and thank you for your time.